All right, this is one iPhone setting that I would say is underrated, underutilized, and probably even overlooked. Focus modes. I know, hear me out, y'all, for real, for real. It drastically changed things for me. It honestly brought a sense of peace, and in ways, a boundary as well.
I even found myself feeling like anxious at times when my phone would go off and just seeing it or hearing it. I'm kind of one of those that would feel a sense of urgency to respond if I saw a message come on my lock screen. And I know there are other people out there that have felt the same way, and I really wanted to make this video for us. This really helped reduce anxiety for me. It helped increase focus. It changed things so greatly for me. I just had to put y'all on.
Just about every morning, I place my phone in my work focus mode. Now, when I do this, it instantly places my phone in a state where only my team can contact me or people who need to discuss some form of business with me. Well, let me clarify that. It's not just in a way where they can contact me, but it's more so in a way where I only get notifications from those people or my work-related apps that I've predefined. But everybody else and all my other apps can still contact me and, send me notifications. I just don't get physical, visible notifications. Even my messages section only shows my work-related conversations, but I like the fact that I can easily turn this on or off so that I can easily, go back to seeing all of my messages.
So the thing about filtering messages down here is it takes it up a notch in terms of removing distractions. Because if you don't do this, then when you go to your messages inbox, you still see everyone in there basically. It's gonna have the do not disturb moon next to their name. You won't get a physical notification to make your phone vibrate or ring or anything like that, but when you go into your messages, you still see the blue dot next to their name. If you find that that's still distracting, like myself, especially within my work focus, I really just want to see my work messages. So I make sure, I come in here and I turn this option on, and that way when I go here to my messages, that's when I get that little toggle there, so that I can just only see my work messages and then turn it off to see all my messages when I need to. So filtering conversations, it just takes it up a notch by removing distractions in essence.
And y'all, I don't know if you know or not, but you can even have a custom home screen setup per focus mode. So basically every time I enable this mode, I see this particular home screen setup, and when I turn it off, it goes back to my regular setup. But let's talk a little bit about how you can get this going on your phone.
So you'll notice right now I don't have a focus mode on, but if I came in here and I turned on one like my work mode, you'll notice then that the wallpaper changes and it looks different. Or if I jumped into my do not disturb mode, wallpaper again changes.
For those of you that aren't familiar with focus modes, it's basically defined as a setting on your iPhone that lets you stay in the moment when you need to concentrate. Now, me personally, I have created modes for work. I've also created a mode for when I travel, when I need some me time, or even in moments like this where I'm recording, which let me actually go ahead and put it in that mode, because I didn't. And you see there, I like the fact that, when I'm in recording mode, I get the icon that, kind of really signifies being in recording mode. Now, some of the modes in which you do see here are predefined, like they were already on the phone. I didn't set anything up. But if you're unsure what type of mode you should create, using one of the predefined ones is a great start. Or just take a moment to reflect and think about, how your days typically go, and figure out a time that you could kind of use less distractions from your phone. Now, if you ask me, I personally feel that a me time mode or work mode would be the best two to start with. All right, now let's get these modes established. So the way that you would go about doing that is to head into your settings and then go to your focus mode section. Now, there are some up here that, like I said, are predefined, but we're gonna create a new one by hitting the plus symbol up here in the top right. And we're gonna start from scratch on this one. So we're gonna go to custom, and we're gonna name this mode. So I'm gonna put, let's call it Leave Me Alone. So we can choose a color for this, and then we can choose an icon. So I'm gonna choose this one because it looks like, it looks like stop. So we're gonna hit next here. And then this is gonna give you a description of basically what focus modes are, which we've already discussed. So we're just gonna hit customize focus. All right, now that we're here, the first thing we're gonna wanna select would be the people that can still contact us, even though we really wanna be left alone. So, keep this list real limited, very exclusive. So we're gonna choose people, and we're gonna select within here the people that we want to contact us. The option that we have right now is allow notifications from, but if you find that you are in a situation where you rather get more messages than not, and specifically silence notifications from specific people instead, then you can tap this option at the top and add people that you want to ignore. Now, once you've chosen your, VIP list, so to speak, we're gonna hit next. And once you're within here, you can choose who you want to allow calls from. So you can say contacts only, meaning if a number that is not saved in your contacts calls you, they will instantly be sent to your voicemail. So you can choose that, your favorites only, allowed people only, everybody. So for this one, I'm gonna say only the people that I allowed to contact me via messages can contact me by phone as well.
When it comes to customizing the people, you can even come in here and configure it a little bit further by basically saying to allow calls only from these people. And you can also enable if you want to allow repeated calls. So basically, if I'm in my leave me alone mode and I only want these people to call me, but I also want the exception that if somebody really needs to reach me and they call me back to back, they can, then what'll happen is only the people that I allow will reach me, and then people that call me back to back within 3 minutes will basically get through. So that way you don't miss any emergency calls possibly from other people. So you can just turn that on. Or you can come in here and say you don't want to limit it to just these people to be able to get through. You want it to be all of your favorites or only people that are in your contacts, meaning if it's not a number saved in your phone, they can't get through, or from a group on your phone, or if everybody can make it through. So you can really fine tune this to fit what you need.
So I'm gonna select done. Now, after you've done that, we wanna choose the apps that can send us notifications. So we're gonna tap choose apps and then choose all of those in which you want to still get notifications from. And then anything that you don't select within here, if they give you a notification, it's just gonna go to notification center here. When you swipe down from the top and you see all of your alerts, it'll be within there. So you still get it, but you just don't get like a vibration or a sound or something. So it comes in silently, so to speak. So again, self-care mode, we want to be very selective with which apps we allow to contact us within here. So you might want to, detox from social media. So in that case, if you find that you have more apps that you want to allow notifications from and silence just a select few, then we're going to select silence notifications from, and then hit add apps and select the apps that you wanted to ignore. So if you're trying to do little social media detox, this is a way to do so.
Within here is where you adjust your apps that you allow or silence notifications from.
But once you've selected the apps you want, we're gonna hit done. So now we have the people and the apps that can contact us, even though we really wanna be left alone. So now we're gonna jump down to options. So there's a couple of things you can tweak about the focus mode. So one of those things being show on lock screen, which basically means even though you have some apps that have the notifications silenced, meaning you're not getting an audible or a visible, alert, meaning your phone's not lighting up to let you know, it's not vibrating, it's coming in silently. If you want to still be able to see those notifications on your lock screen, then you're gonna toggle this on. Me personally, I like to keep the lock screen clean and only see notifications for the apps that I've allowed. So I tend to keep this option off because ultimately, if you really wanna see your silence notifications, you can just swipe down to your notification center and see all of them there. And I would rather do that. The thing I gotta remember though sometimes is to go in there and actually clear them out because they just stack. But anyway, that's besides the point. Next one that we have here is to dim your lock screen. So if you want it to darken your lock screen when this focus mode is on, then you're gonna flip that switch. So example, right now I'm in my record focus. So if I go to my lock screen, it looks like this. But if I turn on dim lock screen, it then looks like this. So basically, if you still kind of want to see your wallpaper, you're going to make sure you keep this option off. But if you just want to see the time and notifications and not see your wallpaper at all, then you're going to turn that option on. And then lastly, you can select if you want to hide notification badges when this mode is on. Personally, when I want to be left alone, I even want the notification badges to go bye-bye. So I would turn this on to just kind of clean up the look on my home screen for whatever I'm seeing. Speaking of home screens, This is where you can customize them. All right, follow me here. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can choose a specific lock screen and home screen to appear when you're in a specific focus mode. And this is where you would do so, but you first have to create that said home screen. So if I were to hit choose right now, it's gonna let me see my existing lock screens or my existing home screens. But if I wanted a specific one to appear when I'm here, then what you have to do is go back out to your home screen, long press, and then swipe to an empty page and start adding the apps that you want. And just a quick FYI, you can add multiples of the same app. So you don't have to worry about something like YouTube only being available on one home screen when you can have it on all of them. Now, after you have made the custom home screen that you want, you're gonna long press on the search icon or that little section down there at the bottom, and we're gonna tap the 3 dots. The reason that we're doing that is so that it's hidden and it's only accessible or visible when that specific focus mode is on. Otherwise, when you're not using any of your focus modes, that home screen will still be visible amongst your, everyday day-to-day setup. So yes, hide it so that it's only visible when you turn on that specific focus mode. But once you've done that, you're then gonna go back into your settings and we're gonna select choose for the home screen and then select the home screen that we just made. And now every time we turn on our leave me alone focus, this is what our home screen will look like. And I like this because if we're trying to prioritize, some me time and we want people and apps and things to leave us alone, we might want to clean up our view as well so that we don't always see certain apps. And it's nice because for me personally, when I have my me time mode on, I don't always want to see my work-related apps. So I might hide Outlook or Microsoft Word or anything else that reminds me of work. I'll make it so that my home screen only shows me like my entertainment apps or my social media apps and things like that, so that I can create like a better separation between things. And like I said, with being able to see a specific home screen, you can do the same for your lock screen here, so that when you head in here, you can choose a lock screen from the gallery or one that you've created. Now, something else you can do is use smart activation to turn it on or off at a specific time, but I like to manually enable mine. However, I do find it useful to kind of come in here to Control Center and tap the 3 dots next to a specific mode and select one of these predefined timers. So like for me right now, I don't really foresee myself recording for longer than an hour, and I want to make sure that I come out of recording mode. So I'm gonna select for 1 hour here and then hop back. Now, although you have selected which apps can notify you, there is an option to further define the way that other apps interact with you. So for example, if I went to add filter here and I chose messages, then I can turn on this option filter by people list, and I would only get notifications from the people that I said could contact me. So I think I alluded to this earlier about having a toggle within messages to see everyone versus the selected people. This is how you would actually go about having that setting within messages. Otherwise, if you keep this off, you'll still see all of your messages within messages, but everybody will have the do not disturb symbol next to them, and you'll only see, the new notification icon next to the people who you have stated can contact you. Or if you want certain things to happen, like your phone to automatically go into dark mode, or for low power mode to automatically turn on, you can add those things within here. So for me time mode, I don't mind personally if it automatically turns on low power mode. Now, if we go back to the main focus page here, something I want to point out are the options down here at the bottom. So the one at the top here is to share it across your devices, so that like if I turn on my leave me alone mode right now, it's gonna put all of my other Apple devices in that same mode as well, which I personally like and oftentimes use because I want the same setting or configuration of notifications amongst all of them and not just that one. There's also a setting to share focus status when using certain apps or certain focus modes, and that's right here at the bottom. If you want to share your focus status with other people, you can come in here and turn it on so that per focus group, it'll be shared with people. So if you want, maybe when you're in your leave me alone focus status, to allow people to see that you have a focus mode on, it's not going to tell the person the name of the status that you're in. It's just going to let them know that you have your notifications silenced. So if you want it to be shared for your leave me alone status, you can turn that on. And if you want it to not be shared for something else like work, then you can come in here and turn that off, so you can configure it as you need it. Now, I want to point this out because something to be mindful of is that when you're in one of these modes, people are notified that you currently are silencing your notifications. And then they're given the option to notify you anyway. Now, if people start to abuse that and you want to override that privilege, you can flip off the option for them to know that you're in a focus mode, and then they can't. Or if you find more so that it's really just one person or a few people that are kind of, you know, doing that, or you just don't want them to know in general that you have on focus status, then you can go to your message with that person and then just tap on their name at the top and then turn off share focus status. So now that means when you flip into any of your focus modes, they will have no clue because they will no longer see the notify anyway option. Now you have a couple of ways that you can turn on a focus mode when you want. So like most of the time I just swipe down to my control center, force press here, and then choose the focus mode that I want. But you also can go into your settings, tap on focus, and then choose the focus mode in which you want from within here. I want to say the max focus modes you can have is 10. And once you're at that point, the only way to get more is to delete one. But I've literally found, y'all, so much more peace in my life in using focus modes, because I'm in focus modes about 95% of the time. I'm in one of a couple. Work, my me time mode, or travel, like I'm hardly ever not in one. At one point, I even had it set so that my phone would automatically go into my sleep mode at a certain time of the day. That helped a ton because I was literally considering turning off my phone at night. But truthfully, just having the option to use a focus mode instead so that I get notifications from the things that I care about and not get notifications from the things that I'm not gonna say don't care about, but just don't want in that moment or just want a more silent way of doing so. This is nice. But I wanted to make this video because I just knew the changes that it brought into my life, and I'm hoping that it can add some type of impact into yours, because honestly, hearing a lot of my friends and family just kind of talk to me about, you know, their mental health or just how they're feeling with just constant notifications coming in from their phone. I feel like this could not only help them, but also hopefully help you all too. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Are you a focus mode user? I know I am, and hopefully from this video, you will be too. I'm gonna wrap it up here, y'all. I have some other content on iPhones, top apps to tips and tricks and phone reviews and a lot of other cool things on my channel. So feel free to stick around and check out one of the videos that are hopefully on screen right now. And until that next one, y'all, as always, thanks for taking the time out to let me tech you out.